if you have already done this lesson, I know some of you guys already have done this lesson, which is okay. You guys, most of you guys are going to do this lesson with me again. But if you feel like, you know what, Coach, I already know this lesson, I already know like what you're talking about, I have created another lesson for you guys. You guys are going to go on if you feel comfortable with moving forward. If you don't, that's completely fine. You could stay on with me and you guys can learn again about our kicking, because this is an important skill about kicking and passing that you guys are going to need to master. So if you haven't mastered it yet, go ahead and stay on with me and practice with us by doing this lesson again. But if you feel confident and you're like, Coach, I can move forward, I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, I have put the lesson on here for you guys. So if you guys go into May Distance Learning, you guys will see there is, I'll share it with everybody. Give me one sec.
Going right here.
Okay. Online, this one right here. Okay. May Distance Learning. You guys will see at the top here a new material that I sent you guys. This has all the lessons that we've done so far. So if you're trying to study for a quiz or you're studying for a test, all right, and you don't remember some of the information, okay, that's completely okay. Use this as a study guide going forward. Okay, today we're working on lesson 3, which is passing and shooting. But if you've already gone over this lesson, cohort C, you've already done this lesson with Mr. O'Connell. If you want to go over this lesson with us again and keep on practicing, you can. But I have also added lesson 4, which is some of the rules about soccer. So I'm just going to have you take a look at it really quick so you guys can see what it looks like. Again, some of you students maybe want to work ahead. Maybe some of you students want to take a look at this and learn a little bit more about soccer because you're super interested. Hold on just a sec.
Lesson 4. Lesson 4.
But you guys can do that. You guys can work on moving forward. If you don't feel comfortable moving forward, please, by all means, stay on with me, and we're going to work through this lesson as we're working on it.
B and C.
So some of you guys could be moving forward. Some of you guys could be staying with you. If you're not sure, just stay on with me. I'll be working on these skills. We're going to be working a couple of these different skills as we go forward. You guys can continue to practice your skills. Again, even if you stay on with me, even though you've done this lesson, I'm going to be going over the next lesson anyways. Okay, so don't feel obligated to move forward if you don't want to.
Group online.
All right, just getting a couple more people in.
Group B and C.
All right, so that lesson is there for you guys. Okay, so that's there. Moving on to what we are doing for in-person learning. Okay, we are going to be working on our kicking skills, and we're going to be going over why kicking is so important. So, soccer ball passing and kicks for goals.
Lesson 3.
Again, I want to go over the standard really quick so you guys understand it. I'm going to go through it really fast because I kind of took a little bit of time introducing what we got going on today. So we are trying to identify and describe key elements of performing the striking or dribbling or volleying the soccer ball. What we're going to do, we're going to start off with a soccer warm-up. We're going to be passing the soccer, we're going to be passing and scoring and going over what that looks like. Also, we'll be passing and scoring skills and practices. Also, we're encouraging others to be more supportive of each other in case some people are doing this. You'll be able to explain how to use your foot to pass the ball and to score the ball in a game-like situation. You will also be able to see how passing and scoring show the proper footwork of how to hit the ball with our foot as we're moving forward.
Feet work.
Okay, we are going to have a check-in question. Also, we will have some activities that you guys are going to try. We will have a daily warm-up that you guys are going to do that you guys can get credit for. Passing and scoring wise is still important. And then skill development, plant foot, sweep, and follow through.
Follow.
And asynchronous time to practice these skills. Okay, so that's kind of what we're going to be trying to get accomplished today.
Forward.
So, my checking question for you guys, I want you guys to try to answer. Okay, imagine you are on a team, and a teammate does not pass you the ball, even though you're wide open. How could you talk to that person about passing the ball to you more? Okay, again, remember, you want to get results. You want somebody to give you the ball because you're open. So if you talk to them a certain way, maybe that might not be the best way to get the ball. So how can you delicately tell them, hey, I was open, pass me the ball, I'm open. Okay, how can you talk to your teammate without showing them up or showing them like, hey man, I was open, you're not good. Okay.
Not good at all.
Oscar says give them a cue vocally. Absolutely, you can give them a cue vocally. Hey man, I was open. Or you can do it non-vocally, like putting your hand up, like so they see like you were open, so that maybe they can say, oh man, I see you now, you were open. Maybe talking to them after during the halftime. Hey, you know, ask them if you saw that I was open. Okay, I see some good responses here. Ask him I was open. Tell him after the game that to be more aware. Absolutely. Okay, yell at him to give you the ball. Vocal. Yeah, we don't want to yell at him. Okay, if you yell at him, he's gonna be like, you're gonna get shut down pretty much. He's gonna be like, oh man, this guy, he's yelling at me, trying to show me up and tell me he's open. Like, forget him. I'm not gonna get him the ball. Okay, you got to be very delicate sometimes. So even if you're wide open, people make mistakes, right? I make mistakes all the time. I'm a human being. That doesn't mean that you can show that person up and tell them off and this and that and the other, okay? You got to do it delicately. You got to, hey man, you saw me open on that one. Make sure you keep your eyes up so you can see me. I could be streaking to the goal again. Just keep those eyes up, and usually your partner will respond really well to that, okay? So it's all about being a good sportsman, being a good teammate, not showing them up, making sure they know what to do, but also do it in the right way. Okay?
Respond.
So really good responses there. That will help you as you guys are trying to get better at soccer. Okay? Our warm-ups. Please make sure your cameras are turned on. We're going to be doing our warm-ups right now. I'll be giving credit to those people that do have their cameras on. Okay? We're going to be working on trapping. We'll be working on juggling, and then we'll also be doing some push-ups. So if you don't have your object ready yet, go ahead and grab your soccer object, whatever it may be. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds.
Key element.
And then we'll start up here in just a sec.
Trapping. Results like key element.
Alright, so hopefully you grabbed your object here. Okay, the first one we're going to be doing is juggling. Again, when you guys are trapping the ball, you guys are tossing it up, trying to get underneath the ball, and then tap it with your chest so it lands right in the middle of your legs. Okay? Again, we're trying to get better at this skill. This will be part of your skills check one of these days. Probably not today, but one of these days we'll get better at this. Okay? So, trapping. You guys are up. 30 seconds. Try to trap as many times as you can with that ball hitting you between your legs. Ready, set, and go. Go ahead and pause. Hopefully you guys were able to get some good traps in there. The next one we're going to be doing, okay, the next one we're doing is our juggling. Again, notice that this guy is kicking the ball to himself, whatever object you have, soccer ball, balloon, balled up pair of socks, whatever it may be. You guys are working on kicking this to yourself. Again, you're keeping it underneath your hips or below your knees. Nice, easy kicks to yourself. Again, if you're not great at doing this, try to toss it to yourself and kick it back to yourself once at one time, okay? You guys are going for 30 seconds. Try to get better at this skill. On your mark, get set, go.
Nice and easy.
Alright, nice job there. Really good. I've seen a lot of people participating. That is awesome. Seems like you guys enjoy soccer a lot. The last one we're going to be doing is some push-ups, okay? If you have a soccer ball that's pretty steady, you can try to do this activity right here, skill number 3. If you have an object that's maybe not too steady at all, go ahead and just do regular push-ups, okay? How many times can you do push-ups in 30 seconds, okay? You guys are up. On your mark, get set, and go.
Doing push-ups is easy. Easy results like these, like that.
Alright, nice job. Go ahead and relax for me. Really good work. Again, grab a quick drink of water if you need one. Okay, if you need to rest for a second, that's okay. Alright, we'll start here very shortly.
As well.
Try to get everybody in that did the activity. That way everybody gets credit.
Credit.
They're doing.
Drink your water as well.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. Nice job there with a lot of you guys doing the warm-ups. Excellent work. I appreciate your hard work. We're going to move forward from here. Alright, so we're going to be getting into scoring and passing. Passing and scoring are two really key parts of skills that you guys need to try to master if you're trying to be successful at the game of soccer. I still, to this day, I am 30 plus years old and I still haven't mastered how to kick the ball properly. I did not grow up playing soccer, so I am not the best soccer player. But I do know how important soccer passing and scoring are in the game. Again, like any sport, if you're able to score more points than the other team, your team wins. So, being able to score properly by kicking the ball the correct way is going to be extremely important for your accuracy if you're trying to score goals. Okay, so we're going to go over what passing is and how that's most effective. And then we're going to talk about the cues, about the 3 things you guys should know when thinking about how to kick an object and pass an object. Passing is the most effective way for a team to move the ball down the field to the opposing goal. So I think of it like this in basketball. I know basketball a little bit better. Some of you guys maybe watched the Lakers play yesterday versus Golden State Warriors. Okay. A lot of those guys, if they had a fast break, they would pass that ball down the court. Those players would grab the ball and they would do their layup. We've all seen where they throw the half-court ball down the court, the guy catches it and scores a layup. Okay, he did that and got an easy bucket because of passing. If you're a person that likes to dribble the ball a bunch and keep your head down, that is not the most efficient way to get the ball down the field. So passing is the most effective way for your team to score the ball and get the ball down the court, or the field. Excuse me, not the court. We're not basketball, this is soccer.
Passing.
In soccer, it is common to pass the ball backwards well to move away from the fences. So you don't have to pass the ball forwards every single time, but passing the ball backwards also can give you some separation in soccer. But again, the higher the foot hits the ball, or the lower your foot hits the ball, the different way it will travel. Okay, so I wanted to show you this real quick. If you kick the ball underneath the soccer ball, that ball is going to rise up and it's going to be like a high kick. If you kick the ball on top of the soccer ball, it's going to roll on the ground as it's going, and it's going to be a dribbler type of kick, and it's going to stay on the ground. Okay, so those are different ways that you can kick the ball, but again, passing is an extremely good way to move the ball up and down the field without you having to dribble. Passing and scoring, the basic cues. Even if you're passing or even if you're scoring, you want to think about these 3 cues as you are working on your skills. So, planting the foot. The off foot needs to be planted right by the side of the soccer ball. Notice this guy's foot right here. See that plant foot, the inside foot that's not kicking the ball? That's called his plant foot. Notice it's right next to the soccer ball, and then he's able to kick with his opposite foot. Okay? Sweeping the ball. Again, sweeping the ball means you're kind of, everybody sweeps at home. They sweep the floor. They sweep the floor for their mom. Okay? Your foot is doing that same motion. You're kind of keeping your legs straight back, and you sweep with the inside part of your foot to kick the ball. The most important thing I can say about kicking is following through. If you stop your foot right away after you make contact, that ball is not going to go exactly where you want it to go. So you want to make sure that you're following through to the best of your ability. That follow through is going to allow you for that ball to go exactly where you want it to go. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is go ahead and stand up for me.
Passing and scoring.
Okay, go ahead and stand up for me. And then you guys are just going to work on those 3 cues. Okay, if you have a soccer ball, great. If you're outside, even better. If you are inside and you have a soccer ball, be careful, please. Or if you need to, go outside. If you have a light ball, like a pair of balled up socks, or you have something like that, and you're inside, you can stay inside. But what I want you guys to do is work on stepping, sweeping your foot, and following through, and try to pick a spot on the wall that you want to try to hit. And then you're going to try to kick it to that object. So I'm aiming for the electrical port right there in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can hit that. Okay, I was pretty close. I didn't hit it, but I know that I'm doing all the cues that I was taught because I'm pretty accurate, because that's what I'm aiming for. If you're kicking a ball and it's ending up where you're not aiming for, that means that something is going wrong with your kicking, and that you're not doing one of the cues. You're not planting, you're not sweeping your foot, you're not watching the ball, or you're not following through, okay? I want you to try to do this 5 times. See if you can try to kick whatever you're looking for. Try to kick it to that spot on the wall, and see if you're able to have some success. Okay? Try it just 5 times, and then we'll move forward.
Successing.
Again, if you're not perfect, that's okay.
Sweeping and following.
Alright, and that last one wasn't very good. I kicked it all the way off to the side. So, if you're maybe having some problems with your accuracy, that's okay. You're going to work on, remember, stepping, sweeping, and following through. Those are the 3 main cues that you guys need to think about when practicing those skills. Again, if you're inside, please be careful. If you have a soccer ball, go outside. Don't destroy anything of your mom's or your dad's.
Follow through.
These 3 pictures I want to show you guys really quick to get you guys thinking about how we pass the ball and how we score the ball. So in this GIF right here, you can kind of see this guy boots this ball. Now it looks like he's not kicking to anybody, but his player catches up with the ball and is able to keep moving down the field. Okay, this is an excellent pass. Why it's an excellent pass? Because this gentleman is able to kick the ball to where his player is going to be and not where he's at. Okay, so if you have a player running full speed down the court and you want to pass it, or excuse me, down the field, and you want to pass it to them, you don't want to kick it to where they're at. You kick it to where they're at, the ball's going to end up behind them. If you kick it behind them, it's going to get stolen, it's going to go the other way. You want to kick it to where they're going to be. Same thing as basketball, same thing as football. I'm going to throw that ball to where they are going to be. So this guy does a great job of kicking that ball. His player catches up to it. He traps it with his foot, and then he keeps on going. I don't know if he scores or whatnot, but at least he has a free reign to get to the ball and be able to do something with it. Okay, so that's an excellent pass by this gentleman right here. The next example I wanted to show you guys is, well, first off, notice that this guy is able to get his foot under the ball when he kicks it, and that ball goes launching up in the air, okay? So if you kick it underneath the ball, that ball is going to go up in the air like that. If you kick the top of the ball, and the ball stays on the ground. So notice this guy here kicks the top of the ball. He's able to get it past the defender or the goalie, and it's the dribbler that stays on the ground, and it's hard for this guy to block it because it stays on the ground. Also notice in here that he's kicking it to a side of the goal. We're going to do something with this here with our accuracy in just a second, but we're working on kicking it to either side of the goal. We're not trying to kick it square in the middle where the goalie is. Okay, so he does a great job of kicking the top of the ball. He's accurate. He steps, swings, and follows through, and he's pretty accurate with where the ball goes. This last kick right here, I wanted to show you guys. This guy also does a great job of planting and aiming for the side pylon. He steps, swings, and follows through. He's able to kick it to where exactly he is aiming for, which is the corner post of the pylon of the goal, and he is able to score a goal as well. Again, he gets under the ball a little bit, so as you guys can see, that ball goes up and it floats instead of staying on the ground. But that excellent kick by him as well. Okay, so these are 3 different ways you can kick it. Again, passing, scoring while dribbling on the ground, or scoring while dribbling in the air. But all these, they step, plant, swing that foot, sweep that foot, and follow through.
Topping.
Okay, so I want you guys to answer a really quick question for me. Go ahead and type this in the chat when you're ready. When passing to someone who is running full speed, should you try to, and you should try to pass the ball? When passing to someone who is running full speed, should you try to pass the ball with A, to where they are, B, in front of where they are going, or C, behind them? Go ahead and type in the chat A, B, or C. Alright, so the answer, if you guys didn't answer already, the answer is B.
B.
The answer is in front of where they are going. Again, you want to be in front of where they're going. You want to kick the ball to where they're going to be and not where they are actually at or behind them. Okay, so that's the correct answer. The correct answer is B. Again, you're going to see this on a quiz, so make sure you guys are taking a little mental note of this. In front of where they are going. Okay, the answer is B there.
Where to be.
Alright, so we're going to be working on some skills with passing and scoring and skill work. Set up 2 makeshift cones that you think of these 2 as the goal posts. Okay, and you're going to challenge yourself by moving the cones closer and closer. So what we're going to be doing, alright, if you have, maybe you don't have cones, maybe you have bottled water, maybe you have some canned goods or something like that. You're going to set those objects up kind of how I have mine set up. So they're going to be opposite sides of each other, just like that. And we're going to be working on the skill of being able to kick the ball accurately between the goals. So this is kind of our goal. And what I want to see you guys doing is you guys are going to show me that you guys are accurate by kicking it between these 2 cones.
These two
Okay,
cones.
remember, step, swing, and follow through when we're kicking. Again, you can work on kicking it underneath the ball to raise the ball up a little bit. You can kick the top of the ball to make it go down on the ground a little bit. But I want you to kick it 5 times and see if you can make it in between these goals. Actually, excuse me. Let me go back. You're going to kick it 2 times. If you're able to kick it in between these cones for 2 times, okay? I kicked it once, I got it in between. I go back, I kick it, I'm sure I can get it in between the cones again. Okay, I do. So I want you to move these cones in. You're going to slide your cones in. You're going to slide this cone in so they're a little bit tighter. Then you're going to practice again. Trying to kick in between these 2 cones again as they get tighter and tighter. If you're able to do it 2 times again and you're able to get it, great job. Move the cones in even more. Okay, so that one I didn't get in between, but you want to move these cones in a little bit more. Okay, now that they're super tight to each other, I want to see if you guys can kick it in between those cones, staying accurate, not letting the ball go outside of those cones as you go. Okay, so go ahead and do that right now. Use your object, whatever your object may be, it doesn't matter. Something that you can adjust and try to work on kicking it in between the cones. Again, the tighter you can be and get it in between the cones, the better of accuracy you're going to be. Remember, step, swing, and follow through.
Step, swing.
Grab your object again and try it again. Step, swing, and follow through. Okay, so that one I did pretty good. I'm going to even move mine tighter. Okay, if you're able to get it this tight and you're able to make it through that goal, that's excellent. If you hit one of the cones and knock it over, go ahead and move them back wide again and practice again. So you guys are doing this for the next couple minutes, 2 minutes or so. See how tight you can get your cones without hitting them.
Goalpost.
If you hit them and they go inside of the cone, great. That means that that's probably a goal. If you're able to, if you hit it and it goes outside of it, that means you got to work on that accuracy a little bit more. Remember, step, swing, and follow through. If you're able to have them all the way tight how they are, see how many times you can get it in between the cone without it going outside of those cones. Okay, I want to see how close you can be accurate.
Goalposting.
Remember, working on maybe kicking it underneath the ball, over the top of the ball, so it's rolling. Try kicking it in different ways. Okay, see, I see my kicks are going off to the left, so I need to focus on following through a little bit more. Alright, so finish up. Go ahead and pause for me. You guys should have been able to practice that a little bit. How close were you able to get the cones? Were they super close together? Were they not very close? Did you struggle a little bit? How did you guys do? Were you able to get the cones all the way together and still be able to score between them, between the cones?
Between it.
Alright. So hopefully you guys were able to have some accuracy. Again, a lot of people are saying easy, pretty close, easy. Good. So you guys are having some success. You guys are really planting, swinging, and following through. Very good job there. So, the next drill that we're going to do, we're going to work on actually trying to score. When you're scoring, like these last pictures, I'm going to go back so you guys can see it. Notice these guys, these two. Notice something similar between these two. So this guy kicks the ball, but where is he kicking it? He's kicking it to the corner of the goal. This guy, where is he kicking it? He's kicking it to that front pylon of the goal. But they're always to the side, either or side. So that's just demonstrating when you're trying to score in soccer, you don't want to kick it right in the middle of the goal. Okay? The goalie's right there, he's going to block it, right? We want to score. So we want to aim towards either side of the goal as we're trying to score the goal. So what you guys are going to do, you're going to set up your cones, just like you had them. You're going to set them one side like you had them at the beginning. One to the right and one to the left. And what I want you guys to do is stand in the middle and I want you to try to knock over the cone, knock over the water bottle, knock over the can, knock over whatever you have at your house that you're using. You're going to try to knock over that item. Again, if you hit the item and it goes inside of the cone, that means it's probably going to be a goal. If you kick it and it lands on the outside of that goal or of the cone, then that probably means that it's not going to be a goal. Okay, so you're trying to either knock the cone over or get inside the cone. So I'm squared up here. Hopefully you guys can see.
Inside.
Okay, and I'm aiming for this left cone, and I missed it. But I went outside of the cone, so that probably means that I just missed the goal. So I'm going to come back, and I'm going to practice that again. I want you to see if you guys can hit that cone and either stay inside the cone, or if you can hit the cone and knock it over. That means you're going to be pretty accurate. Okay, that one I missed again. I went to the outside, so I know I need to fix something. Maybe my plant foot is not where it needs to be. Maybe I can try my other side and see if I'm better. Let's try the right side and see if I can make it. But there you go. Good. I knocked that one over. Okay, so that means I'm pretty accurate with my right side, but maybe I need to work the left side. So you guys are trying to maybe to hit the cone on the left side or the right side. I want you to try 5 or 6 times. See how you guys do. And then we're going to do a little game with that here in just a second. Okay, so keep on practicing. If you're able to knock over a cone, work on the cone that you weren't able to knock over. Again, if you're in your house, please be careful. Don't knock over anything that's going to have your mom upset at you.
5 or 6 times.
Okay, I'm still not being able to hit my left cone. So you guys are practicing.
Practicing.
Before I move on, I'm going to knock over this cone. I promise. There we go. I finally hit it. Okay? So if you're able to get inside that cone, but you're able to stay close to it, that means you probably came close to scoring a goal. If you're went to the outside of that cone and you weren't able to knock it over, it usually means the score is going to be a little wide.
Wide. Wide blue.
Alright. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to time this. I want you guys to work on trying to kick the object, whatever it is. You're trying to get inside of that cone. You're trying to knock the cone over. Okay, you guys are trying to do that for the next 30 seconds. We're going to gamify this. How many times are you able to knock that object over? Okay, so I'm going to get your object set up again. I'm going to push the timer here in just a second, and we will start again.
Object.
See how you guys do.
Doing well.
I got 9. Alright, let's see how many times you can do it in those seconds, okay? So 30 seconds, you guys are trying to kick inside those objects. Try to keep as tight to those cones as possible. On your mark, get set, and go.
These 30 seconds. These 30 seconds were good. Time's up.
Nice job there. So hopefully you guys were able to do it in a time and able to grab the object back and be able to kick it the object over a couple times. So nice job there. We are going to move forward.
Uh-oh.
I need to see a big timer. Okay. So I got a couple closer questions for you guys. I want you guys to try to answer in the chat as best as you can.
Couple more.
What is the most effective way to move the ball in a team? How do I want to move the ball up and down the field? What's the most effective way I can do that? Michael has it right. Good job, Michael. See if anybody else. Anthony, no, not dribbling. Okay, how do I want to move that ball up and down the field? Couple more people. Let's see if we can respond and get it again. Good. Garen has it right. Okay. I'm seeing some passing. Good. Mario. Good. Good. Now here we go. Okay. So Anthony says passing the ball. Passing. Anthony says. Azevedo says passing. Good job. Garen says passing. Anthony B says passing the ball. Passing. Zachariah. Christopher says passing. Absolutely. Okay. We want to pass that ball to a teammate. That's going to get the ball down the field a lot faster. That way we can score. Okay. My next question: when passing the ball to someone who is running, where should you pass the ball? Should you be passing it in front of them? Should you pass it where they are, where they're going to be, behind them? If they're running down the field at full speed, where should you pass them the ball? Go ahead and type in the chat. Anthony, good. In front of them. Good. I should see a bunch of in front of them. Anthony had it right. In front of them, in front of them, in front of them. Good. Okay, a lot of in front. Yes, you want to be able to lead that person to where you want them to go. So you're going to pass it in front of them. Very good. Lastly, I want you guys to answer the last question. Name one of the 3 cues in kicking the ball. One of the 3. Okay, the 3 cues that we went over at the beginning. First, you have to identify what those 3 cues are. No, those are different, Anthony. Those are different skills. The in dribbling. I'm talking about the yes. Good. Plant. Good. Plant the kick. Good. Some of you guys are putting plant. Good job. Alright, so a couple answers you guys could have put there. I see some people maybe are confused a little bit, but you can plant your foot, you can sweep your foot, and then follow through. Alright, follow through. Those are the 3 main key cues that you guys need to remember when you guys are trying to kick the ball. Alright, step, sweep, and follow through. Plant, sweep, and follow through. Absolutely. Very good. Alright. So, that is our first lesson that we've gone over. Again, I know some of you guys maybe went over that lesson. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and push on to our second lesson. But I want you to watch this kick real quick. Look at this guy. He kicked the ball and it went one way and spun all the way completely the other way. Who has noticed that kick? That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
He threw like a change up or like a in baseball, what do they call that? A slider. Yeah, that's a mean curve. I wouldn't be able to block that for sure.
Mean curve.
Crazy. Alright. I just thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to show you guys that.
Mean curve.
Okay, so we are moving on to our next lesson. Again, we're going to go over this lesson. We're not going to get to it all today, but I wanted to just brush over it with you. Again, you guys have access to this as well. So you guys can go on and you guys can work ahead and take a look at this. Again, we will be having a quiz probably next week, maybe on this, maybe probably not this coming Monday, but maybe the next week after we might do a quiz. But we will be having a unit test at the end. I'll be giving you guys a study guide for that. I'll be giving you guys have these slides that you guys can use, and we're going to be having some questions at the end of the year for soccer. Okay. Some of the rules, the basic rules and strategies of the game of soccer, so you guys can be successful. Again, if you don't know the rules of the game, it's going to be really hard to be successful at a sport. If you don't know some certain strategies that teams use, it's going to be really hard to be successful at sport. So I want to go over some of these. Again, we're just going to go through this page. If we're able to get through this page, excellent. I know the bell's going to be ringing here in just a bit, but I want to go over a few of these things, okay? So, the basics of the game.
Basics.
Of soccer. Your hand or forearm is the only part of your body that cannot touch the ball while the ball is in play. You must use your head, your chest, your thigh or your leg to contact the ball. Again, when you're using your thigh or your chest or your leg to contact the ball, that's usually trapping. So that's something that we've worked on. But you cannot use your hand or your forearm. If you use your hand or forearm in soccer, it's going to be a penalty where the other team will be able to put the ball down where the foul occurred, and they'll be able to kick the ball there to their team, so they get the ball back. All right, so you want to avoid touching the ball with your hand. Okay, so that's one of the main rules about the game of soccer. Don't use your hands. You want to use other parts of your body besides your hands. Now, there is one person that can use their hand. The goalie is the only person that may use their hands in the game without being penalized. The goalie is the person that is in this box right here. They're trying to stop you from scoring, so they're able to jump and dive and block the ball with their hands, but they are the only people that are able to do that, okay? Nobody else is able to use their hands. Now, if the ball goes out of bounds and you're trying to pass the ball back in, that is a time where you can use your hands, you can pass it in, but when it's in a game of play, you may not use your hands in the game of soccer. 11 players make up a soccer team at once, so that means that 11 people can be on the field at one time. 11 people can be on the field at one time. Now, there are some times where there's penalties that happen, and some people are not able to go out and come back in. Sometimes there's less than 11 people, but 11 people is the most amount that you can have on a field. Number 4, soccer field is usually 100 yards or maybe even 120 yards at the most. If you think about a football field, the size of a football field is usually about the size of a soccer field. So that is the length of the field. Again, 50 yards is about the width of the soccer field. So 100 yards this way, as you guys can see in the diagram, you guys can see 90 to 120. Again, some soccer fields are a little bit smaller than others, and then 45 to 90 meters or yards is also the width. Soccer matches are divided into 2 halves. Okay, 2 halves is how it's broken up. Again, some of you guys maybe watched the NBA yesterday. It's 4 quarters. College basketball has 2 halves. In the MLB or any major soccer league, 2 halves is the amount of time that it is for those halves. Okay, each half is usually broken into 60 minutes, so an hour each. But that clock never stops. So if somebody gets hurt, if somebody gets penalized, whatever may happen, okay, that clock does not stop. That clock keeps on going.
Doesn't stop.
Okay, now they do have some stoppage time where that time runs over, but usually it's only in those 2 halves. Okay, any questions about anything like that so far?
These 2 halves.
Pretty straightforward so far.
Pretty straightforward.
I'm admitting a couple people. Give me 1 sec.
Pretty much pretty straightforward.
Okay. The next point I want to go over. If there's a tie, say there's a tie, 1-1, 2-2, whatever the tie may be. Okay, there is 2 overtime periods where they kind of try to find somebody to score. If nobody scores within those 2 overtime periods, then it goes to a shootout. And you guys probably don't know what a shootout is. I'll go over that next time. But a shootout is kind of where each team has a player shoot on the goal and try to score, and whoever scores the most amount of goals wins in that time. Okay, so that's a shootout. That's okay, Anthony. Don't worry about it. Soccer was originally called football. So everywhere else in the world, football is what soccer is called. And I think they pronounce the F-U-T-B-O-L. Football here is F-O-O-T-B-A-L-L. And that is a completely different sport. but football is kind of how they pronounce it everywhere else, besides America, where we do everything backwards. Okay. The game clock in soccer match only stops for no reason. Okay, so the clock is always running in the game of soccer. If somebody gets hurt, if someone gets injured, say there's a discrepancy, say there's a foul, and you guys are arguing about it. You guys see it all the time where soccer players are arguing about something. That clock will not stop. That clock will keep on going. Okay, and it only lasts for an hour. Then you guys go to the second half after a break. Okay.
Nothing
We're
reason.
gonna go over this page. I don't want to get too deep into this because I want to be able to go over this next time as well. There's a lot of information and I don't want you guys to get a little confused. I want to be able to explain it. Okay, so we're going to pause it there. You guys now are working asynchronously on your kicking skills. Again, you guys have worked on passing the ball. You guys can set up your cones. You can work on kicking the ball between those objects. You can work on knocking over the cones and trying to score. You guys have about maybe 5 or 6 minutes to work on that asynchronously before your next class. So that's what I want you guys to practice on. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can reach out to me. I will leave this on here so you guys can practice that skill as you guys go. But we're going to stop right there. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with that next lesson.
Confusing. This one could have football just like this. Very confusing. Very good also. Discipline yourself. For what's going on in the past, goalpost like these cones as the goalpost by goalposting. Convenience like compensation. Compensation or this. Could be less compensation. Confection.
Alright, so I just heard the bell. Okay, so you guys are continuing to practice. If you guys do feel like you're in a good spot and you've practiced, you guys can go ahead and take off. Coach Hew-Len. Yes, who is that? I'm gonna message you really quick.
We're gonna leave. So see ya everybody. So pretty much all though. I'll see you there. Play good.